Ana Kasparian, kind of being a Karen here, TBH. I guess that kind of is a substitute for woman in some contexts and get a little sexist.
In this video, woke streamer Vaush's obsession with Ana Kasparian once again gets him pissy about Ana Kasparian changing her mind. Vaush's response to Ana Kasparian is to call her nasty names to placate his awful audience. With that, let's watch Vaush whine about Ana Kasparian waking up to the left's lunacy on a couple of topics.
And to be honest, I agree with a lot of what Vaush says here. Leftists and progressives have absolutely no idea how unnecessarily repellent they come off to so many people. And they get angry at the idea of being a more effective social movement because they don't want to share their social spaces with people who might have gone another way.
Ana Kasparian, kind of being a Karen here, TBH. I guess that kind of is a substitute for woman in some contexts and get a little sexist. I don't care. It's just Anna's really been bothering me, man. I'm not over that. And now she won't talk to me. And that's fine. That's her right. It just makes her a bitch. Anna's being a low IQ child. All of her progressive activism, its sincerity, and frankly, it's like intent is being called into question by the sheer fucking retardation of the shit she's saying right now. It's genuinely baffling. I don't.
So that's a quick intro to Vaush, but now I'm going to play a clip of what he's reacting to that's got him so pissy. Check it out.
As an insult. He doesn't care about Muslim lives one bit.
Donald Trump is deeply racist and he says deeply racist things, okay? I want to make a distinction between Donald Trump, the person who says and does racist things, and the notion of a fascist. Because look, if we're just gonna use fascist toward anyone we dislike, all right, then the word doesn't actually mean anything.
Okay, what do you want me to say, Anna? You want me to say wannabe dictator?
Sure, you can say wannabe dictator, but I don't even think he wants to be a dictator.
Of course he does. That's what you do when you lose an election and you go, oh, I got fake electors and I'd like to terminate the Constitution and bring out the tanks and use martial law against American citizens and shoot protesters. I mean, if that's not fascist, then I guess the word just shouldn't exist.
But was he able to do those things?
First of all, his entire cabinet had to threaten, not cabinet, administration, his White House team had to say, we're all going to mass resign if you roll out tanks against American citizens.
Okay, so if you think he's a fascist, wouldn't that justify taking physical action against him?
No, because that doesn't help. That devolves us further into fascism.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a difference between somebody shooting someone, that's fascism, and saying, I disagree with them. Don't elect a fascist prick who says only white people are awesome and everybody else is garbage and should be banned. No, look, I'm not gonna take a chance with a monster like that.
I know, you're focusing on whether or not you're gonna vote for him. I don't give a damn about that, and that's not what I'm asking you about, Cenk. I don't think that this rhetoric, especially from elected members of Congress, is helpful at a time.
I don't agree.
Do you see how insane Vaush's vitriol towards Ana Kasparian is? She's saying something on here that is just factual. By the way, she's still ripping on Trump in this clip, but that's not good enough for Vaush. He's upset that she said, hey, I think we should chill with all this Hitler Nazi talk. I don't think it's helpful to the left. And Cenk, who has zero emotional control, like a little girl, just freaks out and can't accept it. But this is why Vaush is calling her a bitch and retarded. This is her, according to him, negating all of her progressive activism that she's done for her entire career because he disagrees with her on something. And did you hear Vaush? He's like, and now she won't talk to me. I mean, that's her right. Well, maybe because you call her a bitch and retarded. I mean, I don't have a problem with you doing that, but you seem to be confused as to where that could be coming from. Anytime I get my hopes up, though, about someone like Ana Kasparian that, oh, they're waking up, which to give her credit, she is on certain issues. I do give her credit on that. But anytime I'm like, all right, they let me down immediately because when Cenk started freaking out and saying he doesn't care about Muslim people, her response is he's deeply racist and says deeply racist things. Start naming them off because I am not aware of a single racist thing he's said since he's been under scrutiny every second of every day for the last 10 years. Give me some examples, guys. I mean, Anna of these three is by far the most rational one, and she says something that stupid. It's just so frustrating, and it's just a reminder of how far gone on these people are. And I guess it depends on your temperament, but this is either laughable or infuriating to you because she's like, hey, I don't think we should say fascist all the time, Cenk. What do you think? And he's like, what do you want me to call him, a dictator? And blah, 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 blah. And do you see, to make his point, how he just has to exaggerate or completely make up facts? He wants to shoot protesters, terminate the Constitution, and bring out tanks and use martial law against American citizens. Now, I'm not a political commentary expert by any means, but I would say, based on the videos I've covered of Cenk lately, he's singing a little bit of a different tune. And by the way, this was, I don't know, 2 to 3 months ago here. Isn't it funny, though, how when Donald Trump got elected, not only did Cenk stop with all of the he's fascist, racist, Hitler, shoot protesters, terminate Constitution, but his tone changed too. He still has his outbursts, but they're much fewer and far between. And if Cenk was ever presented with this clip right here, I guarantee you he would spin it in some way where in his crazy mental gymnastics mind, he was right somehow about this. Or he'd say, you're misinterpreting it. He is a master at rewriting history. I've mentioned it before. He has an obsession with being quote unquote right. He is allergic to accountability or acknowledging that he got something wrong. Or, I mean, this is the craziest thing, or apologizing. It just doesn't happen. I mean, look, I've been doing this stuff for a while now, covering clips like these. And I've always known, Cenk is super douchey, but I gotta admit, my memory is short sometimes. And I forget about how the off the charts level of ridiculousness his statements and attitude and demeanor towards Donald Trump were, again, just a few months ago. And I've learned about myself, I'm naive. My default is to assume the best about people. So when Cenk does anything short of acting like a maniac now and makes a basic common sense statement, I'm like, well, he's getting better. So that's partially my fault, but it's partially because the logical statement bar from the left wing and progressives especially is so low that if they say anything that's even neutral, not even right wing, or just, tell the facts about something as opposed to spinning their ridiculous narrative on it, I'm like, okay, looks like they're coming around. So honestly, I don't know why I'm treating you all like my therapist, but it's something I really need to keep in check, and not turn into some pessimist that assumes the worst in everyone, but be a little cautious when you see people changing. Because if it's ever crossed my mind that, I don't know, maybe Cenk's not a grifter, maybe he's coming around in good faith, watching something like this wakes me up out of that haze really, really quickly. Because he's definitely a grifter, by going on all these right-wing shows and saying, guys, I think we can work together and I'm optimistic. But even on his own show, he will actually say now, so-and-so or this person is kind of exaggerating about what Trump said, which he would have never done in the past. Like, he never would have acknowledged that someone was overstating something that Trump said or manipulating it. He'll still always throw in a little dig at Trump. It's like he has to even it out. Like, if he says anything, not even positive, like I said, like just that's the truth, just neutral about Trump, he'll still throw in something about how much he doesn't like him or exaggerate something he did, but that's clearly just to play to his brainwashed audience, to signal to them, well, hey guys, I'm still on your side. I hope you don't think that means I support Trump. But even though I'm disappointed with some of the things Anna said in this clip, this is the perfect example of why I believe that she, although she may still be a grifter, relative to Cenk Uygur, is 1,000% more sincere about positions she's changed her mind about. That's why I think this clip and the rest that we're going to watch makes Vaush look so insane that he thinks her pushing back on the Nazi talk erases all of her political opinions for years and all of the loony causes that she's fought for and that he's agreed with. And as always, I haven't watched this, so now we're going to go back to Vaush and hear a little bit more from his dumbass. Let's get back to the video.
Have a logical explanation. I don't think it's financial. I think that we're having an honest to God, I'd say it to anyone else and I'm not going to treat her differently, white woman moment. I think we're having a white woman moment. I think we're having to call the police in the park because we see a black person. Minor inconvenience changes your politics. Join the neighborhood watch kind of white woman moment. Soccer mom, white woman moment. That's what I think we're having. Like that suburban white woman thing where it's like, she's okay with gays, but like if her son's gay, then it's like, whoa, or like okay with black people, but you bring a black guy home, the daughter, and whoa, like that. I don't know. Any like Any explanation I try to attach to this is uncharitable because she's being retarded. You might say this one take is retarded rather than Anna herself, Vosh. Well, people people are a sum of the things they believe, you know? Like obviously it's fun to say, "Oh, she's retarded," and it's true. But what I really want is for her to change her mind. I just don't think me being nice would do it. Bosch, you're being kind of mean. No, I'm not. And then Anna, retardedly, says, like, it's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. It's a fake problem. It's Karen shit. It's white woman.
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
It's the white woman problems. This is like classic white woman syndrome, right? Where like everyone's progressive about race issues till their daughter brings home a black guy. Then like, what is this Karen shit? Unironically, like really Karen shit. This is a certified white woman moment. Vosh being mean to Anna has only made the problem worse. No, it didn't. Never believe that bullshit, okay? When retards start spewing their shit and everyone calls them out in it, and then they lash and they go, well, one of you was mean, so no. Nah, I never believe that. I call a million people retarded. Nobody cares. I call one Anna retarded, and you lose your mind. That's your problem. She does have a history of doing the progressive until it affects her kind of like white woman soccer mom shit. All the drama around Ana Kasparian fades away as long as she shuts the fuck up. I think we've sufficiently demonstrated, as always, that women have no idea what they're talking about.
Now, I'm not missing something, right? Vosh is insane, yeah? So Vosh says she's having a white woman moment. I just do not understand how this equates to that, but okay. Then he mentions multiple times about a white woman being okay with gay people unless her son is gay, and then this really creepy, uncomfortable thought of you're okay with black people unless, what did he say, your daughter brings home a black person, then you get upset about it. I'm telling you, this is so utterly confusing to me because just like 99.9999999% of other conversations, like race or sexuality, it doesn't even come into my brain with what he's commenting on. I've said it on here 1,000 times and I will say it 1,000 more. The left is obsessed with race because of their own latent racism. I mean, this is all projection of their weird relationship with their own feelings about minorities that they can't reconcile. So I don't understand the psychology behind it, but they desperately need to accuse everyone else of that which they themselves feel that they're guilty of. But we want to hear from you. What do you think of Vosh's criticisms of Ana Kasparian? I think this guy is just a complete knob job. Good Lord. Let us know. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching. We will see you on the next one.